Hello and welcome again to the Cricket Casuals podcast. We're in episode 3 of season 2, and today we are joined by Dan Jadzevics. He's obviously a cricket legend from ourCRiCKET, Northampton commentator, cricket content creating legend, really. He's joining us today, so thank you for joining us, Dan.
It's a pleasure to have me. What an intro.
Yeah. Try and be as professional as possible on these things.
No, just the word the word legend gets thrown around a little bit too easily, and I don't think I qualify for it, but I appreciate the introduction.
I don't know. I disagree, because I used to watch your videos when I was on my lunch break at work, when I was just getting into cricket and the backyard cricket videos and things like that. It really inspired me on my cricket creating journey. So I think legend's a very fair word to use. I'm sure John, Mutz and Aidan, who are also with us, will agree.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah,
of
many
course.
a video.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
I think I even said goat on your Content Creators Cup announcement, didn't I? No?
I think you might have done. Yeah, you might have done. You might have done. It's lucky I don't have much of an ego, otherwise I'd need a bigger house, I think, for it.
I take it we've all seen that where the stump is sent absolutely flying and you're like, oh wow, okay, maybe he's quite quick. Yeah.
Nah, I can face it. I'm all right. We've all done 99. What are you about?
You know, festively, there's Santa tracker, isn't there, on Christmas Eve that people kind of follow where Santa is around the world. And it's like, oh, he's on his way. He's just coming over Italy and he won't be far from here now. Imagine having one of those on Jofra. Every time you check Jofra's like Instagram story, he is somewhere completely different. I think the day after he'd been bowling at whoever that person was in Barbados, I swear he was at Winter Wonderland in London. Like either the guy he kind of breaks all rules with regards to travel. It really confuses me, but it would be quite cool, I think, to have a little bit of just slip an Apple tag into his back pocket or something and just watch where he goes. I think it'd be great.
Jofra watch, like on transfer deadline day. You got all those reporters outside the ground, so they spotted some obscure striker walking around in the Waitrose.
Harry Redknapp would be there. Terrific player.
Yeah, he would, yeah.
Arm out the vehicle.
It'd be great to see him back, though, wouldn't it? It'd be great to see him back playing.
Do you think he's going to come back for this series? Do you think he's just toying with the ECB? Do you think he's finished? Do you think he'll ever sort of play?
He'll be if he comes back, he'll be a T20 player. That's in my eyes. That's all he'll be. I don't think he'll be.
Such a shame, though. Such a shame.
I mean, he was just immense to watch, wasn't he? Just to watch, it just made you excited to watch him. It made, you know what I mean? I'd pay for Sky to watch him, which I don't at the moment. But his box office, man, brilliant. The way he just strolled in, he almost ambled in, didn't he? And then wow,
confidence of youth, isn't it? He's just there's nothing to fear. He's weren't going to drop him, definitely. But I don't think he'll be playing against the West Indies again. Although he's right in the mix, isn't he? If he does want to just reinvent himself as a T20 player, now's the time to do it. Now England are shipping out all the older ones.
Yeah. Have you ever faced anyone in the nets? Sorry to sidetrack, Dan. Like really quick. I'm not great at keeping, but you must have had the opportunity to face some serious pace in the hands.
Do you know what? It's something that I've never done, and it's something that I would absolutely love the opportunity to do. Like I do. Well, famous last words, but I do kind of back myself at being fairly tidy with the gloves.
I don't. Yeah, not me. I mean, that's me.
to have the opportunity to stand back. Maybe I might not want to start with someone like Mark Wood or Jofra. Like I might want to kind of build my way up, if that makes sense, just so I can kind of get there slowly. So maybe start with a Jimmy. Start with a nice Jimmy and just see how that feels into the gloves. And then if 80 kind of 3 feels a bit hard, then I can go, you know what, I might stop it there. But if it feels okay, then imagine that, like all day on a Saturday in the UK. You're like down at your knees picking things up off the floor as it's like rolled along the deck. Imagine like Jofra just there, like fingers pointing up in front of your face all day at 90 mile an hour. It'd be mental.
Make sure you get your fingers in front of your face. That if it comes through that. Whoa.
Mutz knows more than anyone.
I'm sure I know. Exactly. Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, left and right eye this year's season both went. But yeah, it'd be amazing, wouldn't it? I was just like, imagine taking an edge off. I mean, I hope it's going to happen one day. One day, hopefully, all of this, I'll get to catch an edge off a proper bowler. Well,
a genuine edge.
Hang on, wait. So when you say, hang on. Just so when you take that edge off my bowling in the Content Cup, I'm not a proper bowler.
Of course you are.
Sorry, carry on.
Mate, you haven't seen me keep, have you? You've only just seen. Yeah, I'm not very good. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, but yeah, that'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? Oh, just the pace in the gloves. I would say, Dan, make a video with Mark Wood. You got to do it. Just start at the top. Go for the full pace, all out. Forget about halfway. It'd be a brilliant video, wouldn't it?
I broke 9 fingers and 3 thumbs, basically, keeping to Mark Wood type thing.
Good clicks, engagement.
No, you got
exactly.
I tell you what, if you're making him do that much, you've got to bat.
Yeah.
Stand in front of it and try and edge it.
If he bounces me, right, I'm still going for him.
Get him down to Woodall
on
the Content Cup.
Length, that's all right. Sorry, I sidetracked us there. Sorry.
That's fine. Speaking of other goats, obviously there's been a milestone reach for Nathan Lyon in the Australia Test.
Yeah.
500 Test wickets. What is it? The second off spinner to make it in there in the top 10 into that 500 list.
I believe so. Yeah. Was Murray the first one, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Is he the greatest Australian spinner of all time?
No.
Australian spinner, not a chance.
Come on.
Jeez.
Because he's gonna catch Shane Warne, isn't he?
It doesn't matter. It does not matter.
That is a hot take.
That's an awful shout.
I didn't say he was. I must have been the question.
Warney.
Do you reckon he passes him? Do you reckon he goes past him? What's Warne got? 700 and... What's Shane Warne got off the top of my head?
I think it's 700 because, I think it's 706 maybe, and that is off the top of my head. I don't know.
Lyons, how old is he? Sort of early 30s?
Yeah.
Late 20s.
I mean, he's a supreme bowler.
But he's he's not getting there.
Man, no,
even if he gets there, it proves the statistics don't mean everything. Because, like, even if he gets there, you can't. He's not in the same class as Warne. No, do you know what I mean? No one is.
No.
708. 708.
Yeah.
You don't get the same like romance with a finger spinner as you do with a leggy D. You don't get the mystery. You don't get the art, if that makes sense. You get in return, you get that kind of consistency and that reliability, which unfortunately just isn't as headline writing as what Shane Warne would have been able to have done. But to have picked up 500 wickets is a ridiculous achievement in the first place. And then to think he's played so much of his cricket in a country that actually isn't really that renowned for spin in the first place I think makes it doubly impressive.
Yeah, I mean, he still dropped the Ashes in 2019, didn't he? That's the main thing.
Yeah,
that's what
he'll
be remembered
really
for. You can
I
keep
saw
5
that clip
Test
come up the
wickets.
other day.
Cheers, Gaz.
Yeah, I saw that clip come up the other day.
Do you reckon? I might alienate a lot of off spinners here, but off spin's the easiest thing to bowl, and leg spin's the hardest thing to bowl.
Hey, you got an off spinner in here now.
Sorry,
I'm
JT,
I'm an off spinner as well.
Over to you, JT.
Right, I'm off. See you later.
I'm just going to say any old mug can bowl off spin. Like I bowled off spin this year and took 2 wickets from it.
Like, slow's not off spin, yeah. Tossing it up and chucking a few pies down. That's not.
Again, you just offended me again.
Still, I'm sorry, JT. But if you craft the art, but leg spin, honestly, if you try and bowl leg spin, you've got to do it well. You need to seriously work at it. You can't just rock up and I'm going to chuck a couple of leggies down there because it'll come out awfully.
It's technique. It's all technique in it.
I was going to say, should we ask Oscar?
It is. Yeah. It's proper exciting though when you do send down like a leg spinner and it comes out perfectly and it sort of floats and it bounces and it turns a little bit. That's way more exciting than if you just send down a standard off break.
Yeah.
If you can land a leg break, I like to play with leg breaks in the net. So when you land one, it's bloody lovely.
It's that I think everyone's probably had that where they've, like you said, they've pitched one on leg and it's turned and gone outside off, and you generally think I could be the next Shane Warne here. And then the next one gets chucked about 15 yards down leg side as you're trying to rip it, and it's like, oh, maybe not.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it, isn't it? Like you say, it's like dance. It's like there's something beguiling about leg spin, and just the kind of unpredictability of it because of that. I think because it can either land and do something incredible, or just be an absolute pie and just garbage, especially at our level. I mean, it's more often the latter. It's like one ball in 20 might actually land where you want it to.
But then pies can also get wickets.
I take all my wickets with pies. They should call me Pucker.
Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with them. I played with them 20 years. That's the bread and butter. People that bowl. But yeah, with the leg spin, a stumping, when you know and they've missed a googly and you're ready for the stumping on the inside, or even a leg spin, a big one, and they've danced down the wicket, and you got it in your hand, and they turn around and you're smiling at them. It's brilliant. They literally get the most views on short videos as well. Stick googly in the title, or leggy, or mystery, or something like that.
Mystery spin.
People love it. Yeah.
It's so mysterious. Not even I know what I'm bowling.
Yeah. I mean, Dan got a good video, didn't you? Getting out to a pie, second ball, LBW. Given out by somebody in this podcast.
I get given out a second ball LBW quite regularly when I walk around with a GoPro on my head. So do you know what? I was honestly I wouldn't have been at all surprised if John hadn't triggered me on the first one. So I thought that one was out, to be completely frank. I thought that one was stone dead, to be honest. So I was amazed I lasted 2.
John, tell us about that first ball.
Well, I genuinely thought it was going down. It was straighter and it was swinging more. So I always felt it was going down.
You gave him a chance, didn't you?
And I also gave you a chance. No, but it was for me. It was all genuinely. I always felt it was missing. The second
come a long way,
not so much. Obviously,
umpires unions listening.
Yeah.
Was that the first time you'd met each other?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair to you, it did hit me on the actual kind of batting pad, didn't it?
Yeah, not the one in Sri Lanka
that pinned me in the thigh pad and gave me out. So I mean, JT's one of my favourite umpires in the world in comparison to that bloke.
Yeah, to me it was always the second one he did straighten it up. Brought it a bit more on it. Yeah, it was. I've had people tell me it was an awful decision though. I don't know who was watching it.
With any LBW, it's completely subjective, as we all know.
Of course it is, yeah. Yeah, I know by putting it up on TikTok not that one specifically, but yeah, people just love to think that it's not out, or they try and find some reason.
I mean, every batter knows you're never out LBW. I'm surprised to hear you say you thought the first one was out, Dan, to be honest.
Oh, 100%, mate. 100%. I think it's probably twofold. I think it's twofold. One, the fact that I just forget that whatever I'm meant to be doing when I've got a GoPro on my head. I don't know why, like I really struggle with it. Like to kind of think about oh no, I've actually got to make some content here, to then kind of think about, oh, now I've actually got a bat, and all of a sudden I've just had like a complete brain fart and like just almost forgotten what I was meant to be doing. So I do need to somehow kind of think about how I'm going to resolve that going into 2024, because I don't necessarily think people are going to keep clicking on videos to watch me get 2 or 3 ball ducks each week. So and then on the flip side as well, like, you do know if you're out, don't you? At the end of the day, you just do. Like some LBWs just sound out as well. Just like thudded, just shinned one in front of middle stump. And how people walk off and go, nah, sliding down. It's like, it just wasn't, mate. We've seen it from deep mid wicket. It was plumb.
I've never been out LBW in my mind. Never.
I've never been out LBW at all. It's I've been bowled plenty of times, caught a few times, but I've never been given LBW. So that's can change that next year.
Yeah. Can have that. Yeah. I was
like LBW king here, Aidan. He's out every week.
Yeah.
And like I've said, that technically means that I'm basically never out, because, you know, like we said, it's subjective an LBW. You get me DRS at club cricket and I'll accept it. But
imagine
last year I was only out once.
What number do you bat?
Open.
I open, mate.
So, in which case, at least you'll definitely get a review, because I mean, if you batted 4, there's no chance you get one.
Honestly, my hero is Shane Watson. Bloody love
Yeah.
like burn through a review even though he's absolutely stone dead. Yeah, I'll send that up just to double check. That would be me, 100%.
Like before light hours.
Yeah, like it. I did put a tweet out the other week. The actual skill of batting is to make a delivery look like it's an absolute worldie. I think it was Phil Salt, first T20, when he got bowled by pretty much an up and down delivery, looked at it like it was an absolute banana. And I think that's a genuine skill. Just to walk back and go, yeah, boys, that was a good one, and look absolutely astonished.
It's just ordinary.
Yeah.
To be fair, though,
So
England
the
at that time were almost surprised that the normal deliveries were surprising them. It seemed like they just forgot how to play.
Bloody hell, there's a cricket ball there. What do you do with that?
Oh,
He
yeah.
played well, though. Played well in the last one.
Yeah.
Played well, very well in the last one. It looked like he was shattered at the end of it
I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
in that heat.
smashed it there.
Then again, you know, here's what for you, Dan. I'm going to ask you a question. I know you've said about it, and I've obviously in your Discord with your patron and stuff, and you've mentioned it. But how good was it to play out in Sri Lanka?
Surreal,
Yeah.
completely surreal.
In-
As I said,
a
like
test ground.
yeah, like genuinely gutted the fact that I do feel like I have been cheated a bit out of that innings. And I think unfortunately for me as well, I was like next in probably another 3 times, I think, during the rest of that tournament. But because it was a T10 tournament, like there wasn't a great deal of time to come in. But so another 3 games after that, I was like padded up, ready to go, and just ran out of deliveries in the game. So yeah, gutted the fact that it was a 1 ball kind of experience. But playing out there was really good fun. Just surreal to look around and see some of the names, to think about what's actually occurred on that ground, and to look back at the fort as well. And you've seen all the pictures and the TV of like the Barmy Army like hanging out on top of the fort, and yeah, ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. So hot though. Like you cannot drink enough water out there. It's a very, very sweaty experience. But yeah, keeping on it was a lot of fun as well. Nice carry for the first time this year, similar to what we just spoke about with the old fingers pointing up. I didn't think I'd have to fly all the way to Sri Lanka to kind of take those, but I think it does prove actually that those test guys, those international guys, when they're like, the pitch is a bit low and slow. And there's me stood there kind of however many yards back, like taking cricket balls like up here, keeping it. It's like, that's not actually that low or slow out here. That's a good pitch.
Yeah.
So how clearly can you see the fort then? Because people always gone about the fort in goal, don't they? And like how it's an amazing place to watch. When you're in the middle, is it like a big presence in your vision when you're sort of at that end? Or is it sort of, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it.
It's absolutely. So essentially the cricket ground is basically a big roundabout. So on the island side of the ground is where you've got the media, the pavilion, the changing rooms, and all that other stuff. And then on the other end, there's no kind of building development at all. All the local buses park around this roundabout, I think, until they have to wait to go and pick up some interesting vehicles going around in Sri Lanka, I will say. But on the other side of the road, and it's literally a 2-lane road, you've just got, it's the wall of the fort. So it's, what would you say? Maybe another 50 meters like from the boundary edge. So it is right there in your eye line. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Was there a lot of people on it watching?
Would you believe no, there weren't actually hordes of people watching the Barmy Army Fans World Cup. There were more locals turned up for the second day, to be fair, but no, the fort wasn't covered in flags, and there wasn't a trumpeter and things like that. But yeah, it was good. It was really, really good.
Quite cool though. It's like just to be sat there, like you say, like where all those matches have happened, all those games have gone on, and all those greats have gone.
That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? Absolutely amazing. I asked I think, I don't know if he's the manager or the coach, Omar, for the Pakistan team.
Yes.
And I said to him, I couldn't believe he didn't get me on. I was like, come on, mate. Why haven't you sorted me out here? And he's promised me, I think he's blagging it. I'm on for next year, but I think he's blagging it because there's no way I'm going to be any good compared to, they won, didn't they?
Yeah, they beat us in the final. Yeah.
No,
that could have been me. No.
Good team as well. To be fair, very good team, good players.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well. There's no chance in it if I turn up and try to keep for them.
Does that mean they host next year then? Is it in Pakistan next year? It's just wherever the Barmy Army can get.
So I don't know how much has been kind of released with regards to things going next year, but I think the Barmy Army have got pretty kind of big plans for it going forward. But I don't know exactly what that looks like. I think that they've got hopes that it's going to be kind of booked in again, but I don't know any more than that.
Yeah, it's one of the things, isn't it?
Yeah,
Sri Lanka's a brilliant place to do it, though. Just the people in Sri Lanka, even the economy there, and the way it's an island. I mean, you could see it being a big tournament even if it was just in Sri Lanka every year, or going over there. It's a lovely place, isn't it?
Yeah, beautiful. The people are incredible. Like they couldn't be more helpful. Bought myself a cricket bat out there as well, which is, I think, a bit of a ripper. You know, I think it's a real belter, which I've got a video to edit down for the new year. But yeah, lovely people, lovely grounds, lovely weather, great food. Very, very, very lucky to get that opportunity at the end of this year.
What experience. Just a shame about the result.
Yes. Yeah.
Can't get all, can you?
Yeah, chasing down 100 in 10 overs is fair going, isn't it? So I think
tricky.
as soon as they got that, I think we knew we were in a little bit of trouble.
What do we all think about T10s? Because it seems I heard that India are going to start a T10 tournament potentially. There was one in Abu Dhabi just now. I think it was Abu, or is it anyway? It was in UAE somewhere. That was all right. I mean, I didn't watch much of it, but I was getting the updates and it looks good.
It's like anything. It feels like there's a lot of cricket.
I don't know. I think I feel like the T10 it would have to replace something, and it's got
50 over cricket.
I've got a tournament you can replace.
Shut up. We get it. You don't like 100.
No, I think the worry is that India's going to do it, and India are obviously going to dominate whatever they do, aren't they? Because they've got the money, they've got the rights.
Talking about making it a like more of a season, aren't they? So it'd be more like our Premier League season here. So it'd be longer, maybe more drawn out. As if it's not long enough already, it'd be more drawn out. I don't know how you do that, but it's I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like T20 is just T10 is just
like
pointless.
There's too much cricket.
Seems to be the same. If any country is going to do it, it's going to be India, isn't it? Let's face it. If any country is going to pull it off, it's going to be like in that region. Like I don't think it ever take off here. But yeah, I don't know. It just feels like a bit forcing it, like cricket for cricket's sake almost. When there's plenty of it around. I don't know. What do you think, Dan? Would you take it or leave it?
I'm not a huge fan of like that short format, like the real short format stuff anyway. And I was talking to Joe about it the other week, and it does just constantly feel like watching the same players play against the same players all around the world. And you never really see any variety. Maybe I'd be more interested if it was maybe a bit more of a domestic tournament in India or something, but I don't see that happening because I don't think they'll get the eyes on it if they don't have the superstar overseas. Just don't think it's needed, to be completely honest with you. I'm sure the people in charge of the IPL need that extra bit of cash, and I'm sure they'll probably make an absolute like bucket load of it. So I could see why they want it, but
it's not good for cricket, though, is it? I mean, you're obviously probably the only one of us who's played T10. So I imagine it's really hard to play because you never really get into the swing of the game, because by the time you're sort of used to the conditions, it's over, right?
It's really intense. Like, it is incredibly intense because you don't get that kind of opportunity to either with a bat to kind of slowly start an innings or to think about. So if you think about a T20 and you think about the way that you want to go about batting, you might think about, I need to get 2 boundaries in an over playing a T20 game from the start. That might be the way that you want to look at it. And then you think, eights is going to be a nice place. If I get another couple of runs on top of that, happy days. But I think with a T10, like, you've got to be thinking about, well, I've got to play 3 big shots minimum to start with, if not 4. And at that point there, it does become incredibly difficult to start. I think as an amateur, I don't see it really working because I don't see how you're going to keep everybody happy. That I think is going to be really difficult. Like I mentioned the fact that like I was padded up next to go kind of 3 more times after that and never got another bat. Now I was lucky to keep on the second day, but potentially if I hadn't have kept, I'd have had like an absolute TFC tournament rocking around in Sri Lanka, which would have been cool. But how can you keep an amateur interested in that? Like,
No,
could
you
you go, oh, by the way, lads, we're an hour away from home on Saturday. We're playing a T10. You're batting 6 and you're not going to bowl. And it's like, right.
You're not going
okay.
to feature all the way.
Yeah, so I don't see it working amateurly, but I'm sure they'll be able to sell some sponsors rights or something for a franchise tournament, and they'll make some cash. So that's what they're interested in, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, people watch it, won't they? People, I mean, just because it's people
Possibly
who
bet
love
on it as
cricket.
well, which I guess is probably quite likely.
Yeah, true. Yeah, but you're going to see
what
weird
about-
scores, though, aren't you? You're going to see like people being bowled out for like 40 because you have to go so hard so early. So
Yeah, although
you
you don't really get the tail enders anymore, do you? So like,
Yeah,
what was it?
true,
Andre
yeah.
Russell batted 9 for the West Indies in the first T20, which is ludicrous. So to think of him coming out at number 9 in a T10 game, yeah, okay, you might get a low score, but like even 10 and 11 are probably going to be able to hit some dingers, aren't they, at the end to get them up to something decent. So yeah, you just don't get a bunny anymore.
No.
What about a T10 format for the Olympics when it's cricket in LA 2028? You wouldn't have that.
T20, is it?
I don't know what it
T20?
is.
It'll be
but-
T20. Yeah, they can't make it T10. That's not an established
But
form of the
why?
game, is it?
Why not? Because in terms of, so I did a video and I've been chatting with Colorblind Cricket, who's very knowledgeable if you haven't seen his TikToks, and it was like the Olympics should be the pinnacle, but we already have a Test World Championship. We've got T20 World Cup. We've got an ODI World Cup. So what's the Olympics going to be for the format?
That's the
So
thing.
you might as well have a T10 where that is the goal, is to win an Olympic gold medal in T10 format, rather than it being a T10 World Cup and stuff like that. So maybe
it
that's the way to
stays
do it.
as the Olympic event.
Yeah.
And there's no. I don't know
whether things come from it, but I think that's probably the best way in for a new format is in the Olympics.
But it's like with football, isn't it? It's like the football Olympic tournament is like it's so far low down anybody's priorities because there's bigger trophies to win, and it's the same with most of a lot of team sports that end up in the Olympics. There's bigger fish to fry. Like even the boxing to a certain extent, it's like there's not you have to be amateur, so it's like that's what keeps it. So maybe that kind of stipulation, like the cricket Olympics has to be amateur. You can't have professionals. So it'd be, but then again, you're relying on there being that infrastructure in the countries that take part. Like you'd be okay in probably in the England, Australia, Sri Lanka. I mean, not Sri Lanka, South Africa, maybe a couple of the other big ones, but like it's going to be like 5 or 6 teams taking part if you make that stipulation. I don't think cricket should be in the Olympics. I mean, it's good for the exposure for the sport, but I don't think it needs to be there. I think it's just trying to get cricket fans into the Olympics, which they will be anyway. It's the Olympics. Everybody has some sort of passing interest in it. I would say it doesn't need to be there. I don't see why. I don't see the benefit of it.
I see the benefit of it. I think it gives a lot of other countries that may not play as many sports that do play cricket a chance of competing and going to the Olympics.
Oh, that's true.
And potentially winning gold, silvers, and whatever from it. But then, the smaller nations, you get a load of South Pacific nations, Asian, Nepal, all of those sort of people that will come together and make a great tour. I think the T10 sounds like a good idea as well, for the Olympics. Just smash, bang, it's exciting. Well, it's exciting. And it's not really real cricket, is it? It's just but
I think what's the Olympics? 4 weeks, so it gives you enough time to play, recover, and you could effectively have a men's and women's game back to back. Obviously in France, so people get to watch a men's and a women's game.
Do it like the sevens.
It's only going to be a T20.
The rugby sevens. They have like a day after, that thing. It's really good that when the rugby sevens is on the Olympics. It's well good them mornings.
To be fair, I think rugby is it's another sport that sevens is only really played at the Olympics. So that's kind of. I'm not aware of an international sevens tournament.
And there is, I think, the World Series that goes round, which is a good party. To be fair, if you have a look at it, but it's not as prominent as your Six Nations, your Tri Series, and whatever, and the World Cup and stuff like that. And obviously, Union and League beat it, but it'll be one of those where I think sevens is quite big in America. So I think maybe like a T10 would appeal to the Americans because it's short format. It is crash bang wallop. You don't need a long attention span, and it will probably get a new audience in.
They've got the MLC now, don't they?
Yeah, and I'm surprised they didn't do a T10. To be honest with it, just because it would have been like a new format which they could have brand, which I suppose is kind of why the 100 came in, wasn't it? It's a new format, get a new audience in.
Yeah,
but I would have preferred a T10 over the 100. You'd
have preferred anything over the 100.
Oh yeah,
preferred T5. You just preferred to go
make it make sense. They just wanted to sell Chris sponsorship.
It does make sense.
They wanted to do.
I reckon if you
Chris.
went to a game, you'd enjoy it. I mean, yeah.
Show me somebody who doesn't like Chris, I'll show you a liar.
Yeah. What? But they're expanding it now. I'm so glad we're going to cut off again because I'm ready for a rant here. Right. Anyway, let's get through these while I'm connected.
Yeah.
As always, with a guest on, we ask you for some questions. So we've had a couple through the Discord and on Twitter as well. So Dan, we're going to start with a question from ourCRiCKET Shorts on the Discord. He says, can you give us a quick summary of the 2023 season, your 2023 season, and then your goals going into next year?
Okay, yeah. Do you know what? Looking back at 2023, all the time that I didn't have a GoPro kicking about, I actually really enjoyed my cricket. So anything that I did do well, nobody saw any of it, which was kind of apt, really, I suppose. But the first time I've ever been asked to open the batting and keeping wicket as well. So I got like absolute bang for my buck this year when it came to my match fees. Like I got to bat for as long as I wanted to, or as long as I could, and then got to keep for 40 overs as well. So I think I scored, I think in proper cricket, and proper cricket's like it loose, it's Div 7. I think I scored about 420 runs across the course of the year, which was nice, a couple of 50s. And I think I had the most dismissals in the league as a wicketkeeper. So that was a nice little kind of accolade to have at the end of the year. In terms of aspirations in 2024, the 100's got to be like, I've never scored 100 before, and that's got to be my goal. And I'm toying at the moment and thinking about how I go about making like a content series of how I got there, if that makes sense. I don't know the exact kind of title for it just yet, but maybe something along the lines of Road to 100, so something like that. And yeah, that's got to be it. And the other thing as well is I really have to, maybe I need to speak to some kind of sports psychologist about how to bat with a camera kicking about, because as I said earlier, like, I just crap my pants every time I turn one on. And I think, like, I don't know what you lads think about it, but like I spend so much time kind of worrying about, have I packed my SD cards? Are my batteries charged? Is there an SD card in the camera? Is it running? Like you saw on the video that when Gareth came down to play at Slindon, at that same time, not only was I sorting my cameras out, I was also scoring, which meant I forgot that I hadn't actually put any pads on. So by the time the bloke who got out, who was batting ahead of me and I was ready to go, I stood up from scoring and forced somebody else to do it and realized I didn't actually have any pads on. And that included turning cameras on. So it's a little bit of it's a bit of a juggling act, I think, trying to make cricket content sometimes.
But you've hit the nail, because I've done it for 3 years with a GoPro now. I think this is my 3rd season. So scoring, I wouldn't even think about doing. I just wouldn't, just like, that's just another. And I skipper a lot of the games. So my 1st season I was skipper. I stopped doing that as well. So and then you forget about the camera after a while. But if you're doing all the other mechanics, what it takes to go in a club, as well as doing the social media for the club or whatever, it's too much. Yeah, it's way too much. You can not. I don't think you. Yeah, it's up against you to score runs. I'm sure you will once you get used to it. But I would like put the scoring down and just like, yeah. That's the only thing that I was when I didn't do all the other stuff and I just kept wicket and I batted, it was better, and I didn't have to worry about, has someone put the stumps out? Has this happened? Has that happened? Has this happened? As soon as you forget about not doing that and that's given to someone else, that's what I found anyway. That's my 2 pence worth. of
Do you
wearing a
feel like
camera.
you play for the camera then? Do you feel like if it like too many dot balls go past, you feel pressure to like make a shot, even though you can edit it obviously, but do you feel that pressure that you have to be interesting?
I don't think interesting is the right. I think it's just like aware. I'm so aware that it's there, if that makes sense. And I think sometimes I kind of go with a mindset of like, you kind of have to score like 20, 25 or something like that to genuinely kind of make enough of a video to kind of provide some kind of content. Obviously with keeping, it becomes a little bit easier with the fact that actually I can take that back out to the middle again and keep with it. And therefore it takes a little bit of pressure away. But yeah, I think you are a little bit. And I spoke to, and I'm sure he won't mind me saying, but I spoke to Gareth about it when I filmed with him recently. And he kind of said like for his videos, he almost kind of feels like 20 runs per episode is better for him in terms of content than what it would be if he went out there and scored like a 50 every 4 innings. But actually, the 50 every 4 innings would be a more enjoyable way for him to go about playing his cricket than what it would be going along getting 420s. But I don't know. I don't know what you blokes think about that when it comes to kind of taking the GoPro out to the middle. Like, does it kind of play with your mind or?
Never done it.
No, okay, fair enough.
I batted once last year and I got a duck, so golden duck.
Yeah,
I think as a batter, and I've always said this to the boys as well. So my actual like league games where I'm playing every week, I will not film anything on a GoPro in terms of putting it on my head on a Saturday, because I find like it's more of a physical thing. Like the GoPro will make my head so heavy and my balance isn't great anyway. So anytime I've worn it, I've not batted well. So obviously I don't want it to affect the blokes who are coming along to actually enjoy and win a game of cricket. That's what I don't want. Like I'll put a static one on a tripod up in the clubhouse to film the whole game, and we'll use it for training. And I think a lot of clubs are going to do it now. But yeah, like I said, if it's not like a friendly or maybe like a T20 where no one really cares too much about the result, then I won't film it. But like from your point of view, you know, batting's such a mental task, and you've got so much like stimuli coming on. I mean, batting in itself, you're thinking probably about what's the bowler doing, where's the fielder, and then you've got the cameras on top. That's probably where you're, I don't know, tipping yourself over the edge, maybe.
I mean, I reckon the thing, and I've probably, judging by what everyone said, I've probably batted the most, and I've only started batting with a GoPro this season. Really, I didn't do it the seasons before, but I think as soon as you get 20 runs, it's like any batting. Once you're in the zone, you forget about the camera because you're in the zone. And I think I had 3 or 4 innings where I got more than 20 odd or whatever. But the camera's not there. The only thing that you're worried about is the light on. You'll hear me in my videos. Is the light on after I played a good shot? Because if it ain't on, I'm not happy. Or if someone's got, it's the light on. And then I've got the GoPro with the beep beep. So when that runs out of battery, I'll stop everybody. Right, we're all stopping, lads. Change my battery. But that's the only. I mean, it does. Yeah, it does happen. Actually, when you get a lot of runs, you need about 3 batteries, and I think I ran out on the big score that I got. I think I got 70. Well, whatever. But yeah, it's the same thing. As soon as you get into the zone, it's like any cricket. Though, once you're in there, it doesn't matter, innit? You're just scoring runs because that's what that's what we're there for, and we love it. But I might get in the zone once a season, twice a season if I'm lucky.
I'd love to get in the zone one day.
I was going to say, I love how Mutz has just said, yes, we will casually get up to 20 runs and get in the zone.
Yeah.
Even without a GoPro, I struggle to get in double figures.
Completely alien to me, that.
Yeah.
My high score.
You are playing a good standard of cricket when you weren't scoring. You got runs in the 2s, didn't you? But it was, but it's a better standard than I play anyway. So, because you look like you can bat.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We don't know, but I don't know for you, Dan. Have you heard of a bloke called Lewis Hatchett, former pro?
Yeah,
He does a lot of mindset. I think he could be a good shout to chat
Genuinely
with.
could be, yeah. To be fair,
It's a great name, isn't it?
This is just a little bit off the pod. Go and chat to him.
Well, this has turned into a little bit of a therapy session, which is nice. So I appreciate it.
I think that's what people need sometimes. Is like I always think when I go out to bat that I'm really in a hole here, And actually, I mean, mental health in general, just hearing people chat about, yeah, you also struggle. Oh, okay, I can relate to that. And I think that makes it easier.
Have you seen the Ronnie O'Sullivan documentary?
Not yet. No.
I haven't actually, no.
That's a good one to watch because he went through all the drama in the head and whatever through his career. And then right now, I mean, I've got 3 quarters, so I haven't watched all of it. I hope it goes all right at the end. But it's yeah, he's at calm with himself, and I mean, what he just did recently, wow. And that guy, wow. But yeah, it's just about how he deals with his demons and stuff.
He works a lot with Steve Peters, doesn't he? Who did like Bradley Wiggins and I think one of the Premier League football teams as well.
Yeah.
He's got a really good book called The Chimp Paradox.
That's it. The Chimp. Yeah, I've read it. Well, I read one chapter.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good book. It's an interesting concept. I don't know how it helped with like.
What's your chimp called?
I don't know. I don't think I've ever bothered to
That's
name
what he
him.
does, isn't he? He asks you to call your chimp a name or
Yeah.
something. I'm sure it's something along those lines. Sorry, this could be. Yeah.
It's a big tangent, but that's sports psychology.
I know what I'm getting out of this pod.
Got to be something in there. Sorry.
But,
I think though as well, like obviously I've sat here and just said how much it struggle with one camera. Imagine walking out at an IPL game or a World Cup final and there's hundreds of cameras.
Or a content creator cup game.
Or that. Yeah, I mean that could be quite an experience, couldn't it?
But Travis Head doesn't have to turn them all on. And remember, he's got a memory card in him.
That is a very fair point. Yeah, that is a fair point.
I should have grouped this question in with the first one, Dan. So if we want to give it a brief one, but Luke on Discord asked, what was your best achievement from last year?
What was my best achievement from last year? That's a do you know what? Like I say a couple of 50s, which were nice. We ended up fluffing the league on the last day of the season. So like we missed out on promotion. I got a 2-baller that day. Some bloke bowled me a long up that I went to cut and got a bottom edge. Some bloke at first slip just wore it in the belly and everybody was like, oh, it's the greatest catch I've ever seen in my life. It just wasn't. Lost the Barmy Army World Cup final. Got knocked out in the Sussex Slam quarter-final. So it's kind of a bit of a season of nearlies, if that makes sense. But I think generally just the return of actually kind of going up the top of the order and taking that opportunity, I think I'd probably put down. Again, it wasn't like the most productive years of kind of cricket kind, but for me, it was a massive step forward to go and do that, going up from like number 7 or number 8 to go and open the batting and face some proper bowlers for a change was good fun.
So we've got another one from the Parisian cricketer, friend of the pod, and coming on the Content Creators Cup. He asked on Twitter, have you got any advice for someone starting out in cricket content creation?
I think, we spoke, didn't we, before we came live, and we spoke about the infancy of cricket content, full stop. And I think that can be used as a massive positive in the fact that you do kind of have a bit of free reign to have a go at anything you want at the moment, if that makes sense. There's no set way of how cricket content's going to look in 12 months time or 18 months time or 2 years time. But I think probably the best thing really is just find something that you're genuinely passionate about. If that's talking about cricket, then go for that. If it's wearing a GoPro and you want to document your village cricket games, then go for that. If it's creating kind of challenges that you want to try and do, then go for that. If it's long form content, give it a go. If it's the video game, go for that. Like the best thing you can possibly do is find something that you absolutely love doing, because then that's going to come across in your content. Your audience are going to recognize the fact that you're like really enjoying what you're up to, and that's going to become more relatable for those people watching that bit of content, whatever that might be. I don't think there's a right kind of answer. I just give it your best shot. Like just really throw yourself into it and see what happens. There's no guarantees with how this stuff works, as like I'm finding with some of my videos at the moment, which is tough. But if you're enjoying it and that comes across, I think that makes such a huge difference.
Yeah,
I feel motivated.
Well, from my side of it, I 100%. If you find a topic, that's why I went with umpiring, because I started umpiring a couple of seasons ago, and started out of a whim, just started a TikTok account, and it's just gone from and I'm passionate about the umpiring in general because there is a lack of umpires. Probably because sometimes they give dodgy decisions, but well, that's beside the point. But yeah, definitely. If you got I always think if you've got a passion for something, that'll always shine through over somebody who's just trying to make a video to try and get views. If you don't think about the views initially when you're starting up, it just makes things a lot easier, in my opinion. So
what's been great doing the Content Creators Cup, and I say to it, like, what connects us all is that kind of passion for cricket. We all love cricket. And I don't think, like, if you look at a sport like football, that there are people out there who are using the sport to get views. They don't particularly care about it. Whereas I don't think that's happened yet to cricket. It might eventually when it grows, but I think everyone out there has generally got a passion, and you can kind of see it through their videos, which is great. And there's also actually so many content creators out there who are cricketers and do cricket related content. And that's been kind of good to see, is that there's so many different like variations as well, which is really cool.
Yeah, I must admit the last what 12, 18 months, I think there's been like a real kind of influx in content creators, and it's incredible. It's so good to see. It's so good to see people having a go with something that they enjoy. And as I said, whether that's long form, short form, whatever that might be, like it's great. And I do think cricket as a sport, not just for content creators, but cricket as a sport needs to open its gates up, doesn't it? And that in turn will include opportunities up for people making cricket content. Whether that's this summer coming, whether that's 3 summers time, I don't know. But in order to kind of really thrive and flourish as a sport, then it does need to open itself up. And in a weird kind of way, it almost needs to make itself a little bit vulnerable. I think it can't kind of just stick with, well, this is how we've always done it, and that's what we're going to do. But give people opportunities to make content and have fun with it. And I think you do end up kind of showcasing the fact that cricket can actually be a really good sport to play, and it doesn't just have to be a bunch of like stuffy old blokes like wearing like rhubarb and custard ties that try and trip up Australians on a Saturday afternoon. Like, it can be a lot of fun. It doesn't have to be the stereotype that a lot of people think it is.
I think you're spot on there. I mean, I will be that old bloke tripping up Australians in my little rhubarb. Me and David Warner in the Lord's long room, but I think, friend of the pod, guys, come on.
Yeah, Davey.
There is every week.
But I think obviously with your content, Dan, and from everyone's kind of point of view, really, but yours are the challenges, and it doesn't have to be. It's not that kind of preconception people have of it being a boring sport. There is so much you can do related to cricket, and I think there's so many roles in the sport as well. So like, you've got umpires, you've got scorers, social media is now a part of pretty much every club. There's so many different things in cricket, and I think we need to kind of get that across to people who aren't involved.
I think to weigh in on this, I think opening it up is like a big statement, and I think that's it really. That cricket, I'm getting old. You can play cricket till you're 70, 75. There's the loneliness that is in the country at the moment. Sorry, I was listening to something else, and that it was like people get lonely in the summer. Cricket is such a great social thing, but you can't have it clicky, if you know what I mean. It needs to, and it's not. And I think people find it intimidating potentially to join club, and like, my first videos were all about just find the right level, even if it's it's just the basic. People just come in there, you might not even know the rules. So what? They don't know the rules.
Laws.
Get on with it, have a laugh and enjoy it. Laws, sorry mate, but it's not laws when they're playing.
I know, I'm joking.
Bunch of guys
I couldn't help it.
You're part of the problem, John.
Sorry.
Slamming that gate shut.
He's right.
I can't help
he
it.
is right. It does wind you up during the game,
Sorry.
but accept it. Don't worry about it. The amount of times I've seen, because I played cricket in different counties, and you see, what's the word that I'm looking for? People, I want to say, just people frowning upon stuff that they may not have learned to play cricket that way, but look how happy, and look at the way they're hitting shots, but they don't know that you can't run down the middle of the wicket, or stuff like that. And there is, I see that sort of stuff quite a lot. And obviously I'm a gobby shite, so I'll call it out, but it doesn't, you don't see people calling it out quite a lot. And I think that would really, really help with cricket, because it is a great sport. It's great for you mentally, physically. You know, the friends that you make, I made friends for life in the 20 years just because I played cricket against them for 4 seasons in a row. And all of a sudden, do you know what I mean? We're calling each other up and checking how we are and stuff. I don't know. I've not played football, so I don't know that how it works with that. But and then the way you can go and watch cricket abroad, follow your teams around, and the way the crowds mingle with each other abroad, you know, and have a great laugh. You know, India, Pakistan, for example, in Abu Dhabi, it's an absolute atmosphere and a half. It's electric. But I think, yeah, this in different countries, it's played differently, and somehow it just needs to, like you say, open up. It's so large a term though. But I'm hearing you.
Yeah, I think each country has its different challenges, I think, as well. Like you just spoke about the fact that you can play cricket into your 70s, or I'm sure your 80s. I'm sure there's probably 80-year-old cricketers kicking about somewhere in the UK.
There is. I've got one on my channel.
Yeah. But if you go to another one of the cricketing powerhouses, if you don't make it as a professional cricketer after the age of about 20, that's it. You're done. You don't play. And I think then you have an audience there that struggles to understand why Jeff still wants to play cricket for Birdham threes or whoever that might be, that they might want to turn out for every Saturday. I think they struggle to understand that, because
that's what we're doing. We're educating them, aren't we?
Yeah.
But on our channels. Because I know what you're saying, because I get a lot of Indian listeners or whatever, and at the beginning, why are you doing it? And then you get other people kind of saying, well, wait a minute, these lot are just having fun. Enjoy it. Look at them. They're just really enjoying themselves. And I think that's what you're getting at. I don't know.
Well, it's a couple of lads I spoke to in Barbados. They were in their early 20s. They played against England as a warm-up game. And they were talking, they were like, well, we don't really make it in the next year. I'm going to go train and be an electrician. And that's it. And I said, so you just won't play anything? No, done. As it is, this lad's gone off and played. I think he played for, who's the Knight Riders team in the Caribbean? Trinbago? I think he ended up playing playing for Trinbago this year, which is great, which is fantastic for him. But it was genuinely a case of, well, if I don't get there, then I'm going to go and train and be something else. And that's going to be the end of cricket for me. Whereas potentially that 21-year-old in the UK goes, oh, well, if I don't make it, might still be playing when I'm 45 because I love it and I want to do that. So yeah, it's a seriously complex sport, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, the West Indies is a weird what happened with the West Indian cricket, and, you know, this way the small islands are and that way it works. I can see how a 21-year-old, once he's out of the game, he's got to still make money, doesn't he? And whatever. Yeah. So, yeah, but I don't know. It's just a great sport, and you sometimes you think, why are they doing it like that? Why aren't people getting chances or whatever? Why weren't the West Indies at the World Cup? It was just like, very, very frustrating things that happen in cricket.
Next question from Tremlings on Discord. Dan, what is it like to go around the world playing cricket and getting content?
I mean, if you like cricket, it's about the best job in the world, mate. If you don't, it probably isn't for you. To be fair, it's such a cool experience. Like I've been lucky enough now. Well, when I was 18, for absolutely no reason whatsoever, I decided to go play cricket in New Zealand. I'd only been playing cricket for about 2 years by this point. And I think my mate was in Argentina doing something. And I thought, oh, that sounds like quite a good idea, not to go to uni and not go get a proper job. And I thought, I'll go and give that a go for 3 months or whatever. Turned up, was like so out of my depth. There was like county second 11 players there. Doug Bracewell, who's played like a handful of tests for New Zealand. He was there. A guy called Kieran Noema Barnett, who played for Gloucestershire. He was there as well. And I'd been playing for about 18 months. And I was just like, wow, I'm a bit out of it. But so that was my first experience. And then yeah, after that was just, Barbados, Barbados was cool. Like rocking up at Jofra Archer's house was quite a surreal experience. Like popping out the taxi and seeing him hop out the door and jump in the Range Rover. But yeah, to have played cricket on a test ground in Sri Lanka, unless Lords comes about, I do think I'm going to really struggle to actually kind of top that now, if that makes sense. Might be cooler experiences with cooler players, or for example, but I just don't think they give those opportunities away that often. Like I can't imagine like the MCC just going, yeah, of course you can have a bunch of retrobates turn up for a couple of days at Lords and just play a few T10s. You'll be fine. Just don't see
they have
it.
the Australians every couple of years.
Yeah, exactly. That is true, to be fair. That is true. And they host them for 5 days as well. So maybe 2 days is all right. But yeah, it's surreal. It's surreal. I wish I was a little bit younger, because I'd love to go out and play some grade cricket in Australia. Not proper grade cricket, because I'm terrible, but like one of the lower leagues of it, I think would be an amazing way to spend a winter. And I think anybody, if you get the opportunity to do so, like I'd love to see one of the content creators go. And I don't know whether Rohan is going to be the first guy to go and kind of winter in Australia, but I'd love one of them to go down there and just kind of have that experience and document it all, as they do on their channels. I think would be such a cool series.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
I don't know if there are that many Australian content creators. Maybe I just don't encounter them that much. But I mean, you get the odd one, but it feels like it is very UK focused. I don't know if that's just my echo.
It's probably just because of the market we're in. I see quite a few. There's a few definitely that I've seen a lot of their content and stuff. So
it's a weird. I don't think I see them playing cricket, doing content like we do in terms of GoPros and whatever. But they make funny cricket content, don't they? Like that. Is it Will Taylor?
Yeah, Will Taylor.
And he was doing that, like dancing at the festival, and then obviously Shepmates, who do the commentary. But I don't see them doing our stuff in terms of going to nets, playing in games. Like they might do it very rarely, but I think that there is some out there. And like I said, like the next few years there'll be more, and there will be people who do that. I think. Yeah, like Dan, you said, like going to Australia, I think that's one of my kind of regrets, is not going. I mean, now I'm stuck in a job, I don't have enough money, and I'm not good enough to play, and I'm probably banned from Australia now. So, but if anyone's listening, go and do it.
There's a spare room at Dave's house, mate, for you, waiting for you.
Yeah. Just do a few TikToks with him.
I was quite surprised.
He called me shit, basically.
I was quite surprised when he turned up. He didn't pull his test jersey over his head with like up yours, Aidan, or something on the base layer. I was quite shocked. I was a bit disappointed, I have to say. Maybe he was saving it for his double ton. I don't know. But...
Yeah, probably. I just can't believe, I've inspired him to go and get on. But let's be honest, he got a duck afterwards, so he's shit again. So unlucky, Davey. Humbling game is cricket, isn't it?
As always, friend of the pod, David Warner.
Always welcome.
Davey, please come on.
Yeah. Please.
No, a slight aside on this. I don't know whether this will make it in the pod. So obviously, the comment was basically calling me out as I'm never going to win a World Cup. Like, obviously not, mate. Like, I play 5th tier cricket. I'm shit. Why wouldn't you then? So when he retires, right, come and train me as a professional for a year, and then if I'm not any good, then you can call me out. I don't think he would.
Rags to riches.
I'm just saying, since people don't have that opportunity to train as a professional, is it acceptable for us to call them out as, spectators and whatever, when we've not been in that environment, and then we've not been able to be at that level and fail? Like, there's no way I'd play at a professional level. I'll never be good enough, but I haven't had that training. I haven't had the nutrition. I haven't had the, being looked after by whoever. So
it's across the bear, isn't it? It's our right as armchair critics it's the same with every sport.
Yeah.
So you watch, like I watch Sheffield Wednesday every weekend, and I always think like I could do better. But it's like I know for a fact. Absolutely
I know.
nowhere near. So
I'm
you're
puffing
right.
out my arse at 5-a-side, but I'm fully having to go at Darren Moore on a Saturday.
Struggle to run for more than 20 minutes, but yeah, I think I could just come off the bench and score the winner on a Saturday. It's like no, I think that's like
what a YouTube series that would be, If they all want to train one of us to be a professional cricketer. That'd be incredible. Yeah. Right.
It was
last. Oh, go on, carry on. Sorry, mate.
So no, I was just going to say it was an odd move from kind of the multiple World Cup winning Australian Open and batter. I have to say, I don't know. I don't know. I honestly, I saw it and I was like, what on earth has possessed you to have a nibble on this? It really baffled me. Like, fair play that he did. I don't mind the fact that he called you out. I think it's funny, but I must admit, I think most people would look at it and just go, oh, well.
Yeah. I mean, it must have been a few beers in and deep into TikTok.
Yeah.
I mean, sort of like hour 3 scrolling, like just deep in the rabbit hole.
Checking his mention.
I'm not at the time.
I like the idea as well of them like sitting around and him finding this and then like passing the phone around to a few of the other lads and going, lads, I need something to come back to this guy. Like, what do I do? And actually, it's actually Davey, it's Travis Head, it's like Pat Cummins. They've all like just weighed in on it a little bit for you. Yeah.
No, I did. I mean, I spoke to a couple of lads I play football with, and they were like, "Yeah, imagine if he's passing the phone to Marnus or Smudge in the changing room." And that's mad. But anyway, I always ask this question to everyone who comes on, Dan. It's a bit of a tricky one to finish on, but who is your favourite cricket content creator?
That's a horrible question to ask. It really is. There's two that are like they're a massive kind of 50-50 for me at the moment. One is Gareth. I think he does such an incredible job at capturing what is essentially amateur cricket. I think he's brilliant. I think the storytelling about the club and the ground, I think he does at the beginning is really good. I think it helps the fact that he's decent as well, kind of makes those videos a lot more watchable than if you were going out there getting like giving out LBW on your second ball each week. And I think he does a fantastic. And the other thing as well, which sounds so boring, but the consistency of his channel is so good. Like, he does not miss an upload, and that is so important when it comes to kind of starting yourself out, is that consistency. Let your audience know that you're going to be uploading. And the other one is Rohan, so Club Cricket Badger. I'm so interested to see where he goes long form, whether he goes down the routes of GoPro matches, or whether he goes down the route of maybe a different channel and kind of thinks about the more of I tried to hit every cricketer for 6. Does he go down that route? I don't know whether the content works, if that makes sense, on the same channel. But the short stuff that he makes is just funny. Like, it's so relatable. Yeah. And the best thing about him is he sounds and acts and behaves the exact same way in person as he does on camera. That was the big worry. That Content Creators Cup game, I was driving up and I was thinking, is he actually going to be like that? And I'm pleased to report he is exactly like he is that you see on camera.
That's good. The correct answer was cricket casuals, but anyway.
Yeah, that's why it was tricky. Did you want the correct answer or the honest one?
No,
I've seen plus as well. I've seen you use a bowling machine at 99 mile an hour. That's just dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah, when Aidan's on it, yeah.
You can tell John, yeah.
Look at that prick. Hate him.
I have to say though, like, fair play to you lads for getting in front of it. It's as much as the experts in the comments of the videos kind of say that it isn't 99 miles an hour and that they faced quicker and all this other good stuff.
Yeah.
Firstly, like, they don't know what 99 mile an hour looks like, because nobody faces it on a bowling machine unless you're stupid enough to put a camera in front of you and try and get some views on the internet. But yeah, fair play. Like, anybody that goes down there and actually takes it on, like, fair play to you, because it is rank.
Well, especially for somebody who's not batted much at all for the last 2-3 years.
Yeah. What I would say is Rohan is worse on the bowling machine at 99 mile an hour than you, Aidan, as well.
Oh, excellent.
What
happens if I beam down at 99 mile an hour?
Mate.
Cheers.
Mate.
This will make a great video.
I think he got the shot. He got the shot, which I guess was important. Yeah. But yeah, my chest didn't particularly enjoy it in the week afterwards.
there's always that one. So I was going back to one of the kind of first videos I kind of made was at B3 Cricket. Very cold. It was around this time of year, and I didn't accidentally. I forgot to take my box with me, and Michael at B3 sent one down, and it's hit me square. And I thought I was in trouble. I thought ambulance is going to be needed. Make sure everything's there. And at least he come down and goes, at least the camera's recording. We've got some decent content out of it. And I was like, yes, thank you. Like clinging on. So
it's funny. It's horrible. It's funny.
It's horrible. Like,
It's
every
great when
time
it
I watch
does
the
happen to
video, yeah. I think nut shots in cricket are probably the funniest thing.
Yeah.
But if you're on the end of it, not a chance.
If you're willing to do it for the views, it's worth it.
Oh yeah, but I don't think it wouldn't. That's the difference between if you willingly tried to get that shot, it would never be as funny as it being accidental.
No.
And it just happening like
How
that.
many views would you sign off for then to get hit square in the plums without a box on? Like
How fast are we talking?
Honestly, I don't really think it matters. I don't
No,
think,
it doesn't.
I don't think it's going to be comfortable in any way, is it? So
Okay.
There's going to be a pain threshold. I'd have to go like 1 million views, something like
Views.
that. Yeah.
tens.
Yeah,
Tens.
it's gonna have to be a lot.
Surely.
It'd have to be a lot, yeah.
Well, I don't know. I've got
had all
no
my
feeling
kids.
down there afterwards. So yeah.
There was a good one.
I've had all the kids I want, so to be honest, it'd be doing me a service. So
No, fair.
I've got it for a few hundred.
Yeah.
What did Bumble say? Take away the pain, leave the swelling. I think I could do with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the classic line. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great place to leave it on. We'll go into the quiz. Right then, quick update on Content Creators Cup. Well done to those followers who won a place. They are Joe, Mayank, Matt, and Rob. We will be seeing them next year for the Content Creators Cup. Dan, how excited are you for that?
Honestly, I think it's about time that everybody got together. There was like a little bit of a test that wasn't there earlier this summer, but this is going to be the full bells and whistles version. I don't think. Is there anybody that isn't going to be there? Is there anybody that's kind of pied you off yet?
Maybe that's for my book.
Oh, okay. But like to get everybody there in the same place. Yeah, to get everybody there in the same place is going to be really good fun. And yeah, I mean, who knows? There's going to be more cameras than cricketers. There's probably going to be more cameras than runs. Great place to play cricket as well. Yeah, it's going to be good. And apparently I'm skipper as well. So who knows? There's an auction or a draft or something.
Yeah.
There is a draft. There is a draft coming. Well, hopefully the other side of Christmas have everybody nailed down because it's so far out. Some people have said we can't confirm. I think that's been the issue, is that there's actually been so many content creators and there's only a certain amount of spaces to play. But like we keep saying to everyone, there is roles available. We've posted them to Cricket Jobs. If you want to be a part of the event, just drop us a DM. That's all you got to do, or email us if you want to sponsor it. If you want to have a role off the pitch, we're trying to create as many opportunities as possible to kind of get a start in content creation and things like that, and then hopefully meet all your favorite content creators. So like I said, just drop us a message. I'll try and reply. There's a lot of them. But no, we are absolutely buzzing for it. The draft is going to be in March now. It got pushed back from Christmas. But for you, Dan, we need to sort out a logo for you, don't we? So Content Creators 11 logo. So if anyone's listening who knows of anyone or who is a logo designer, give us a little message and we'll sort it out. But we've also got to design kits from ourCRiCKET, which will be a fun video to do, I think, doing the bespoke designs on their website. Are you up for that, Dan?
Hey, I'm keen. Well, I certainly don't think it would be fair to give you for like free reign of designing all the kits, because I think there could be some questionable designs coming through.
Especially if I got involved, yeah.
Right, so that's booked in. So our cricket video on designing a ourCRiCKET T20 strip will be unbelievable. But I think it is time for the quiz, and it is Mutz this week.
Yeah.
Hey,
go on then, Mutz.
Take it away, mate.
Right. So today's, should we do? It's just questions, and you answer them simply.
Okay.
That's the point.
That's how a quiz works.
Just wanted to clarify the boundaries of the pitch. Right.
answer questions. Okay.
I've got a Christmas question to start off with.
Do I need to write these down?
I was going to say, pen and if you haven't
Can
watched
someone do the
podcast
score?
before, pen and
stop.
paper.
Who's Aidan? You're going to do the scores. You're good at the scores.
Yeah, mate, I'll do the scores. Definitely keep track of it.
Someone might want to double check the scores.
And then do we need to
Okay.
be honest with the answers as well?
And we had to show our answers last week to the camera.
Okay.
Just in case, you know.
Okay, right. Question 1: Which cricketer or what cricketer who was born on Christmas Day in 1984 and played cricket for England?
Got it.
How old does that make him?
Did a math.
That's the second question, mate. That's
If he's
Yeah.
84, work it out from my.
Whoa. Maths isn't my strong point.
Right. Do you want the answers now? Do you have a total running total?
Yeah, that's what we
Well,
should.
innit?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you written down your answers?
Not that you can probably see.
Do I
you
need
got?
to?
Can I have a point for he's 39? Is he 39?
Have you
I
got?
don't know
what
whether
have
you can
written
read
down?
it.
I
It
can't
says
read
Sir
it.
Alistair Cook.
Oh, I didn't
I've
put the
got-
sir. I just put Alistair.
I've got Alistair
You all
Cook.
know that. Did you know that as well, Aidan?
I didn't have a clue, mate.
Oh,
Sorry.
All right.
Good. That's good. At least one person didn't know it. I was like, okay. I don't know.
Who,
I thought
it was
don't
quite a
even know
common
my own
answer.
birthday.
Right.
How am I going to know bloody Alistair Cook?
It was always mentioned
born
when they
on
play a
Christmas
Boxing Day
Day.
test.
You just
Yeah.
like a content
Okay.
cricket influencer sort of person. You might know it.
It's cricket
Sorry,
team,
mate.
Jesus.
Okay. Question
Sorry,
two.
Alistair.
Question 2. So closest wins, unless someone gets it right. How many Boxing Day test matches have there been?
I've got a number.
Okay, right. So answers, please. John,
I've gone with this is probably right. So I've gone 65.
Dan,
I've gone 80.
Aidan,
75.
Adam.
I've got 15.
15.
I'm way out.
Okay, so the actual answer is 46.
Oh,
That's okay. Okay.
They started kind of regularly from 1990 odd, and then they were a bit intermittent before that,
okay.
but they were quite regular. Now they're just a kind of a fixture. But that was my quick trend
So
analysis.
who's closest there then?
Who's the closest? I think it was you're 29 out, and you're 30.
I was 25 out.
Okay, any takers on 25? No, John,
No.
you've got
No.
that. Right then, this is a fixed question. How much is the cheapest cricket bat on the internet?
Is it the one that Dan bought the other day?
I gotta say, I feel like
That's
Dan's
what, for
Hey,
reference.
this
That's
is-
where I got my reference from.
Wow.
Can you remember that far back?
I can remember how much that cricket bat cost. Yeah.
Right, answers. Dan, what was the answer?
£23.99p, I think.
What you got, John?
Oh, I put 23.99.
Just writing the 99 down now, isn't you?
Did you
know?
Did you see that? His hands- no.
I put 23.99. I was moving down to my next spot.
Aidan,
I put 20 quid. I've been done by the thumbnail.
yes. I was hoping on that. Adam,
I put 10. I
That was a
hoping for
different
discount.
video. That was.
there was a
Yeah.
tenor on. There was a tenor on
Yeah.
a different thumbnail.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So the winner there is Dan. I told you get one right, Dan.
Thanks, mate. I appreciate it. I'll go now.
Yeah.
Be rude. not to give
peaked,
him a
I've
point for
peaked.
His own question.
Yeah. Well, I was confused for a little bit. I was thinking, what website's he been on to find this cheap cricket bat?
I saw it.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. A bit more of a different type of question. How high is a set of stumps in inches?
Oh,
Look at that. See, these are the faces that we're looking for.
Um,
It's a podcast, isn't it? The faces are a picture. Watch it on YouTube. Right. So come on. That's it. 3, 2, 1. I need answers. Let's start off with Adam.
40.
40 inches.
Yeah.
You'd like to exaggerate, didn't you?
You know,
Aidan.
better over exaggerate than over exaggerate.
I was going to say we've never had this misses on the pod. It's probably time. I don't know, 23 and a half. I don't know. That's
Half's
too small.
important.
Yeah, always is.
Dan,
I want to say it's 18.
18. John, come on, you're an umpire.
I should know, but I'm checking my. I can't see it on there.
You're cheating. You're cheating.
Yeah, I am cheating. You're
an
right.
umpire and you're cheating.
I'm
see
going. I'm going 20.
See,
Should know
I'm
it, though.
thinking I've got this wrong. It's 28 inches, and it's law 8.2 for reference. John, do you want to go to law?
I'm going in the
8.2?
appendix. That's what I'm looking at.
28 inches. I was trying to think. There's 12 inches in a foot.
It is 28
And I'm
inches.
sort
Yeah,
of like,
yeah. I'm
I
looking in
tell
the.
you,
you know,
yeah.
yeah.
I was trying to quickly work out my height in relation to where the stumps come up to me, and
Oh.
roughly how much I was. It was, yeah.
I mean,
You-
throwing
you
back
use
to
your
never
height.
being out LBW. I mean, if they're 40 inches tall, if you get hit in line anywhere, you're going to be given out
Yeah,
like
sure.
LBW, aren't you? So
I couldn't quite
Um,
remember. I don't know. I don't actually go out and memorise that as an umpire. So I just get given a set of stumps and go and stick them in the ground. So
groundsman's job, innit?
well, should be, but not always. So
Aidan, do you want to give us a score update?
So I believe I'm on 1, Adam's on 1, JT on 2, Dan on 2.
there you go.
So right, let's do another question. There we go. Okay, this is what a bit more for John. After a wide ball has been bowled, in how many different ways may a batsman be dismissed? So I need a number, and then you can describe it if you
What?
want.
So in the same delivery,
Yeah, after a wide ball has been bowled, in how many different ways may a batsman be dismissed?
Trying to count them now.
Bit longer.
flipping
not
heck.
working.
This is
Right
bad.
then.
This, isn't it? My brain's gone tonight.
He's already making the excuses before he's got in the middle. Adam, what you got?
I've gone 4.
Aidan,
3.
Dan,
Yeah, 3.
Yeah,
John,
3.
Adam, you're the winner.
Can I get a bonus point if I can name them all?
You just get the kudos, mate. You know,
Oh, all right.
Pat,
I'll have-
can
I'll
we
have-
name
I'll
it?
have-
Which one of
you're not going to name
missed?
them now, aren't you?
I've gone run out, stumped,
Yeah,
hit wicket,
yeah,
obstruct in
Yeah.
the field.
yeah.
Bang on. Beautiful. Look at
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Did
That's
you get an
bad.
extra point, Aidan? It's up to you. You're the,
Always
you're the
forget.
capper.
Well, no, you're the quiz master, mate. Well, seeing as he's now gone ahead of me, I'm going to go no.
He's obviously got to say no.
Okay, this one's for 3 points.
Oh,
And you need to get it in order.
okay.
So this is
Ooh.
test matches, and this is record run scorer in a calendar year. I want the top 3.
What, from this
People.
year?
No,
Any calendar year.
any calendar year. So the record. I really actually don't think this record will ever be beaten either.
Oh.
Top 3 names, and then I'll give extra points. No, let's just keep it simple, innit? Top 3 names. If the order would be good as well. Okay, how are we doing? Still thinking? I can give you. a
I've
bit
got
more.
3 names. I've gone rogue. No, not
Yeah.
too rogue, but
Okay.
They all scored 1,700 runs
Oh,
in
wow.
the season. In the year. All
Um,
5. Okay, let's go. Aidan.
okay. So Tendulkar is always my banker. I've got Root and Brian Lara.
You get 1 point. Oh,
Okay.
John.
I've gone Root, Virat, and Cook.
You get 1 point. Dan.
So I think Root is there. I think Smith might be there. And I want to say it's Yunus Khan.
You get 1 point.
Oh,
I've gone
Adam.
I've gone
You'd be
Tendulkar,
proud.
Kallis, Sehwag.
You get 0 points.
They-
Just change it to Root. You're
Don't
too honest, you are.
literally-
You're too honest, lad.
Was it Misbah?
No. So this record will never, in my opinion, will never be broken. Mohammed Yusuf, 2006,
Ah, of course.
1,788 runs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Aidan's thinking, who's Mohammed Yusuf?
It's before I get into cricket.
Number 2 is IVA Richards,
Oh.
Viv Richards,
Oh,
1976, 1,710 runs. You can see I'm the oldest out of everybody in it. And then number 3 is Joe Root,
Yeah.
2021, just over 1,700 runs. But the highest is 1,788. And I think he was averaging 99 point something that season.
I was basing it on the fact I was
he's
trying to
doing
get
about
England
12
players
12 tests, 13
purely
tests.
on the fact that they play the most sort of Test cricket in a year.
Yeah,
I'm
that's-
gutted.
that's
I was between those three Pakistani guys. Obviously,
Okay.
Misbah came a little bit later, didn't he, than Yunus and Yusuf? But I was like, I swear down it was Yunus Khan. But oh
Yeah.
well.
Best batsman out of the three of
Close.
them, though, is
No
Mohammed. I
cigar.
would say Mohammed Yusuf. Right. Okay. Next question. Name the 4 spinners that are going to India. I'll give you 5 seconds. English.
Whoa.
Oh wow.
4 of them.
After some news reports, there's actually 5 spinners going.
What you mean?
so-
what
Okay,
Harry
the
Brook?
if you count Harry Brook, who now wants to be a long-term spin option, he's in there. So
I thought he bowled like step and fetch it, seam up stuff. didn't he?
that's right.
Yeah.
As well. But like I said, any old mug can be an off spinner. So
Okay, who we
I want
got
to
then?
see
Aidan.
Stokesy bowling spin. Bashir.
Yep.
Hartley, Leach, Ahmed.
Has anyone not got that?
I
No,
got
I've got those
Bash-
4.
Who's going to be honest? I know you like.
I've got it, yeah.
I
I got
Bash-
those 4.
I got
There
Bashir.
somewhere.
I got Bashir, Ahmed, Livingston, and Rashid. I don't know. I put that. I had a bit of a
Do you-
brain fart at the end.
Okay, so basically, you don't get a point. Everyone else gets a point.
Yeah, fair.
Right, last question. I think it's the last question. I think we've gone on long enough.
Do you want,
Um,
a score update?
Yeah,
If
go on.
it's
then.
the last question.
Go on.
So, last place is Adam on 2. I've got 3, and it's a draw out front between Dan and JT on 4.
Okay. Should we do double points for this one?
Go on then.
Of
Yeah.
course, yeah. Next
Yeah,
goal
yeah.
Winning goal wins.
wins.
Back of the net. All right. So I'll tell you what. Yeah. How many feet does a batsman have to cover to complete one run? First. Yeah, I love the faces. You got to watch it on YouTube, guys. It's the faces. Yeah, the silence means faces. Right, I'll give you 5 seconds to make it fun. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dan, you go first on this one.
118.
Okay. John.
110.
Oh, he's
Aidan?
just picked that for my answer, isn't he?
Yeah.
Aidan.
Cover one run.
Yeah. Go on, think it through, lad. Come on.
I could
Adam, have
work
you
it
got an
out.
answer?
I got 114.
Aidan, have you got a proper answer?
No, I'm so confused by the question. How big's a feet?
Okay, so how many yards is a cricket pitch?
Oh mate, I've been done it. Oh yeah, I've done it in yards, haven't I?
The
How many
big, you put
yards-
22.
22 yards. And how many feet in a yard?
I'm not, mate.
I swear, I grew up
I'm
in a different
25 years old.
generation,
I don't deal with these.
I'm-
He's
fucking
been- he's been-
imperial
he's
messages.
been done by the
as
imperial-
a 50-year-old, I'm just doing it in
I do have
imperial
22 now.
measurements. I'm sorry. I will go to metric. Right, the answer is 58 feet. The pitch length between the stumps is 22 yards, which
Yeah.
is 66 feet. The popping crease are marked 4 feet from the bowling creases. So the length between the popping crease is 66 minus, in brackets, 2 times 4, close brackets, equals 58.
Just
There you
saying,
go.
am I the
If you,
closest?
if you say
Could
so.
work out the
Convert my,
feet.
convert my 22.
I would have got 120 or 140 as well, mate, to try and answer that.
So, John, you're about double the distance from where you need to be, but I think you've got the point, mate.
Yeah.
So it's between John and Dan who won. What was your answer? What was your answer, John?
I went 110 just because I thought it was closer than Dan's.
118 for me.
Yeah.
So
John's the winner by default.
Fuming.
Kind of
I'll take the default one. I don't care. As I say, a win's a win.
I've taken 2 points for 22 feet. Surely that's closer than. Surely that's 40 out instead of 50 out.
To be fair, then he's.
I take it all back, John.
Technicalities.
No.
And who's doing the quiz next time?
That'll be me.
I think it's Adam.
Oh, it's definitely Adam. It's 100% Adam.
All right, you could have just said
Again.
me. You just did it.
I'm just saying. Me and JT are loving life at the minute.
Yeah,
We
we've
haven't
not had to
done a
do one
quiz
yet this series.
Apart
Aladdin.
from we're-
I like the quizzes. It's fine.
Yeah. Don't get embarrassed.
Thank you, ladies and gents, boys and girls, for listening and watching the latest podcast. Massive thank you to Dan for coming on to the podcast with us. Doing exceptionally well on the quiz as well. We're the updates with the Content Cup as well. That's obviously we're going to build into that. Also, for everybody that does celebrate Christmas, happy Christmas as well. And remember, all the links to everybody's content is in the description. And obviously, make sure you do like and subscribe to the video if you're on YouTube, and rate it wherever you are on any podcast platform as well. We will be back, I believe it's in the new year.
Yes.
Yes.
8th of January, I believe.
Yeah, we're going to do a recording in the new year. So, yeah, happy Christmas, happy New Year, and we'll catch you in the next one.